Imagine a vast, sun-drenched landscape in South Dakota, home to the legendary wind cave bison herd. These aren't just any animals. They are a living link to the past. One of only 7 free-roaming herds in the United States with nearly pure genetics, untouched by domestic cattle. They became a symbol of conservation success, safe, thriving, and carrying the future of their species on their broad shoulders. But then, in 2009, a strange order was given. 23 of these precious animals were to be captured and sent on a 1,000-mile journey south, to the arid grasslands of northern Mexico. They weren't fleeing a disaster. They were being sent to reverse one. To understand why the fate of an entire ecosystem rested on these few pioneers, we must first understand the monumental mistake humanity made. We're about to uncover a story of ecological collapse, an incredible rebirth, a story that proves how the fate of the smallest creatures is tied to the mightiest giants. If you believe in the power of nature to heal, and you want to join a community dedicated to exploring these vital stories, take a moment to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Your support helps us bring these crucial stories to light. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Less than 2 centuries ago, North America was a different world. A world that moved to the rhythm of 60 million bison, an ocean of life thundering across the plains. Their herds were so vast, they were described as a dark, moving tide stretching for miles. They were the engineers of the prairie, the heartbeat of an entire continent. But this vibrant world was about to be silenced. The 19th century brought a storm of destruction, profit-driven hunting for pelts, relentless slaughterhouse demand, and a cruel government policy aimed at weakening the indigenous tribes who depended on the bison. All of it converged into a systematic annihilation. The numbers are staggering, almost impossible to comprehend. From 60 million strong in the early 1800s, the population plummeted. By 1889, only 541 individuals remained in the entire United States, a continental life force reduced to a handful of survivors. This tragedy wasn't confined by modern borders. The bison's domain once stretched deep into what is now northern Mexico, and there, their fate was just as grim. In colonial and post-colonial Mexico, they were hunted relentlessly, for food, for trade, for their tough hides, and even for their tongues, considered a delicacy. Spanish chronicles from as early as the 16th century describe organized hunts. By the 19th century, it had become a full-blown industry. Specialized hunters, descendants of Spanish colonists known as ciboleros, perfected the slaughter, pushing the remaining herds farther and farther south until there was nowhere left to run. By the end of the 19th century, the thunder of the bison was gone from Mexico, completely and utterly erased from the landscape. And in their silence, the land itself began to die. Without the bison, the grasslands they had shaped for millennia began to transform. Vast areas that once were seas of grass became choked with thickets of invasive shrubs. The soil, once rich and porous, turned hard and lifeless. Rainwater could no longer soak in. It simply washed away, taking the fertile topsoil with it. Pastures lost their productivity. Biodiversity collapsed. The disappearance of one species triggered a domino effect. The black-tailed prairie dog, already persecuted by humans, suffered the final blow when the bison vanished. To give you an idea, in 1988, a massive prairie dog colony in northern Mexico covered 136,000 acres. In just 2 decades, without their bison partners, that area shrank by 73%, and their population density crashed from 25 individuals per acre to just 2. As the prairie dogs disappeared, so did the countless other birds and animals that depended on them. The prairie was falling silent. And that's when the call was made. The ecosystem needed its engineers back. In 2009, 23 giants from South Dakota arrived in the Llanos Biosphere Reserve in Chihuahua. They stepped onto the very land their ancestors had been wiped from over a century earlier. It was a desperate gamble, but one based on a deep understanding of the bison's power. And what they do is nothing short of magic. First, they walk. Their massive hooves, which might seem destructive, are actually instruments of creation. Unlike cattle, which overgraze and compact the soil, bison are wild, constantly moving, always alert. Their hoof action breaks up the dead, hardened crust. They are nature's aerators, punching holes in the earth's armor. When the rains come, the water sinks in instead of running off, rehydrating the land and preventing erosion. But that's just the beginning. Bison are also mobile fertilizer factories. A single adult can produce more than 50 pounds of manure every day, and because they eat native grasses, their dung is a perfect natural fertilizer, rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. As they roam, they spread this organic gold across vast areas. A study in Colorado found that soil in bison-grazed areas had 40% higher nitrogen levels, supercharging the very grasses that sustain them and creating a powerful, self-reinforcing cycle of fertility. And then there's their most peculiar habit, wallowing. Rolling in the dirt is part relief, part social ritual, and part landscape engineering. Their shaggy coats collect seeds as they roam. When they wallow, they grind those seeds into freshly loosened, fertilized soil. Each wallow becomes a miniature garden, a pocket of life that traps water and gives native plants a chance to sprout. These tiny wetlands attract insects, amphibians, and birds, kickstarting new webs of life. The return of the bison marks the rebirth of an entire pyramid of life. Their grazing creates what scientists call mosaic pastures, a patchwork of short and tall grasses that support countless species. For one animal in particular, it's the difference between life and death, the prairie dog. These little rodents rely on short grass to spot predators, and the bison are their natural lawnmowers. When the bison return, the prairie dogs flourish. And when the prairie dogs thrive, the whole system reignites. Their digging aerates the soil even further, and their burrows become homes for countless others. This brings us to one of the rarest predators in North America, the black-footed ferret. Over 90% of its diet consists of prairie dogs. They live in their abandoned burrows, and without prairie dogs, they simply cannot survive. By the 20th century, the ferret was thought to be extinct until 1981. Restoring the bison is the first step toward rebuilding a world where these incredible predators can return. And the chain continues. The burrowing owl depends on prairie dog towns for both shelter and hunting grounds. They even use the prairie dog's alarm calls as their own early warning system. When prairie dogs scream, the owls take flight. One by one, the connections become clear. No bison, no healthy grass. No healthy grass, no prairie dogs. No prairie dogs, no ferrets, no owls. It's a cascade of extinction. But reintroduction is a cascade of life. The bison's return to northern Mexico is more than a conservation project. It is an act of ecological resurrection, a living testament to the intricate web of life, and a powerful reminder that sometimes, to fix the future, we must have the courage to bring back the ghosts of the past.